Welcome everyone. In this video I'm going to start at the very beginning and give you all the basics surrounding Starfield. So this video is catered more towards the people who are new to Starfield, but for all the Starfield fanatics who are watching, I'm happy to refresh your memory. Starfield is an open world role-playing game made by Bethesda Game Studios that you might know from the very successful Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. And Starfield is their first new IP in 25 years. So what is this Starfield game all about? Well, it takes place in the year 2330, where in the past 2 decades humanity has left Earth and spread itself throughout the universe. You as the player start as a simple miner working for Argos extractors. During your time mining, you stumble upon a glowing artifact. When you touch it, you get a vision and lose consciousness. Upon waking, you can create your character. But not just your appearance, also your background and traits, which will actually affect gameplay. The background provides you with 3 starting skills and some unique dialogue from time to time. And the traits are specific characteristics you choose that come with benefits and drawbacks. You can choose up to 3. After your character is done, you get contacted by Constellation about the artifact. Constellation is a group of space explorers that have been searching and studying these artifacts for some time now. And by going to their headquarters and joining them is how Starfield's main story really kicks off. But because Starfield is an open world RPG, there's much more to do than just the main story. So I will give you a quick tour of all the main factions and cities in Starfield, to give you a good understanding of what this world will look like. And yes, all the factions will be joinable and have their own questline separate from the main quest. Starfield's world will consist of roughly 1,000 planets and 100 solar systems, which are all fully explorable. Most of these solar systems are controlled by one of the various factions, starting with the United Colonies. They are the largest military and political force in the settled systems and are based in the capital New Atlantis, which is this huge futuristic metropolis and the largest city in Starfield. Besides that, the United Colonies also control a large mining city on Mars, called Cydonia. Then we have the 3-Star Collective. It is a confederation of 3 star systems, and their capital is Aquila, which looks like a combination of a military base and a western town. The United Colonies and the 3-Star Collective have had a large-scale conflict in recent years, called the Colony Wars, which ended roughly 20 years ago. So there is still a lot of tension between the 2 factions. The last and probably the most interesting city is Neon. This cyberpunk-esque city is mostly filled with drugs, crime and erotic dancers. That's why it's nicknamed the Pleasure City. There's also a faction here called Raijun Industries that might have you deal with some unsavory narcotic-related jobs. But then we get to the evil faction, the Crimson Fleet. These space pirates are an annoyance to anyone else in the settled systems and are held up in a giant space station. Of course, there are also a lot of smaller groups, but these are the main ones you will be dealing with in Starfield. Now let's go over the basic gameplay loop. Once you've acquired your ship after the intro, you have 2 choices. You get a quest from an NPC, or just fly to a random planet and explore. Both are roughly gonna give you the same result. You will likely encounter some combat in a newly discovered location. Combat will have you use various firearms, explosives or melee weapons to take out your enemies, combined with mechanics like stealth and your trusty boost pack. Defeating enemies and exploring will reward you with XP, loot and credits. XP will level up your character, which will allow you to unlock and improve your skills in 5 different skill trees: physical, social, combat, science and tech. Loot, like weapons and armor, can be used by your character. Other stuff can be sold for credits. With these newly earned credits, you can either upgrade your character by buying better gear, or upgrade your spaceship. You can fully customize every single part of it. But if you don't want to be bothered with doing aerospace engineering, you can always just buy a better ship. And you don't even have to trade in your old one, because in Starfield you can have multiple spaceships. After spending your credits, you start the loop again. You do another quest or do more exploration. This is the core of Starfield, but there are other side activities that can keep you busy for hours, like the outpost system. While exploring a planet, you can start building almost anywhere. These outposts can be a home or a way to generate resources and credits. How it works is you explore planets and find resources. With these resources, you build your outpost, and eventually your outpost can generate some resources on its own, that you can then use to further expand your outpost, or craft modifications for weapons and armor. But you can't do it all on your own. To effectively pilot your ship and run your outpost, you need a crew. Your crew can consist of random NPCs you hire, but also friends you make during your adventures. These companions do not only help out with your ships and outposts, but they can also join you on your adventures and assist in combat. And with some of them you can even build romantic relationships. So overall, Starfield is an enormous game with countless beautiful stories to tell, places to explore, and space pirates to blow up. I hope that this gives you a basic understanding of what Starfield is, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions you still have in the comments. So if this video has piqued your interest in Starfield, make sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos that go in deeper on some topics and game mechanics. Then I wish you all a lot of fun with Starfield and hope to see you at the next video.